And on this cabinet unveiling day, it's important to hone in on the names that could serve this region in a significant way. CTV's Stefan joins us with more details on that. Steph?
Katie, you may have heard one or two of these names in passing while watching that national report, but when it comes to this region in particular, one of the most significant will be President of the Treasury Board, Shafkat Ali. With the federal government being the biggest and most notable employer in Ottawa-Gatineau, many of our viewers will know just how important this person is to them. This person is key to the federal government's fiscal spending, meaning department budgets and ultimately how many workers the government can afford to have. Now, that being said, the role has gone to an MP from Brampton, not Ottawa. The other two names we want to mention are Gatineau MP Stephen McKinnon, who will serve as government house leader. The job entails managing the government's legislative agenda. And another longtime local politician is David McGuinty. McGuinty, representing Ottawa South, is the brother of former Ontario Premier Dalton McGuinty. In Carney's government, he will now hold the title of Minister of Defence, which we anticipate will become increasingly important when it comes to security relations with the U.S. and satisfying the spending expected by NATO. Not to mention, this region is home to CFB Petawawa, CFB Trenton, CFB Kingston, and the Royal Military College. And as the Prime Minister looks to set the government on a new path in the face of a trade war with the United States, we are hearing directly from him tonight. Mark Carney sitting down for an exclusive one-on-one interview with CTV's chief political correspondent, Vashi Capellos. It's his first Canadian interview since the election, and it will give you the most direct first-hand insight on the Prime Minister's plans to move forward with policy that will hopefully make this country better. Here's some of what Carney had to say about his cabinet picks.
There's some similarities. There's experience being deployed in different ways. I'm a new Prime Minister, and let's look at the cabinet as a whole, because I'm not quite sure I make the distinction between the quote front bench and the cabinet as a whole. We only have 28 cabinet ministers. That's down from the mid-upper 40s. Some previous governments. Half of those ministers are new, never been cabinet ministers before. In many cases, they're new to Parliament as a whole. So we're bringing in a lot of fresh energy, fresh ideas, fresh perspectives, alongside with experience. And that's a good team. That's a good management team, in my judgment. Obviously, I spent a lot of time trying to construct it that way.
Now, as you know, the country is somewhat at odds when it comes to the environment versus the economic prosperity that could come from a pipeline. One of Carney's famous moments are when he said, "Build, baby, build." But he wasn't swift to be very direct on the pipeline question, saying it's not one project that will save this country economically, but rather many that he will try to move forward on. Now, you may have missed the full interview on CTV Power Play about an hour ago, but you can always watch it at ctvnews.ca to catch up on this and other past episodes. Katie.
CTV's Stefan reporting live for us tonight. Thank you. And we have more details on Mark Carney's exclusive interview and his new cabinet. There are more stories online at ctvnewsottawa.ca. And Vashi Capellos joins us live in just a few minutes.